Welcome back to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank y'all so much for stopping by again today. Don't let your retirement get stolen overseas. I just want to talk about some reasons that men lose their retirement or give their retirement away while relocating overseas. This is the last in my ATM series of why men spend the money that we spend when we come to places like this. Where is our focus? Somebody has to talk about the nuts and bolts of retirement overseas. It can't always be about buying motorcycles, building houses, how I met my girlfriend, and all that other junk that we talk about. There's thousands and thousands of videos of that. Somebody has to talk about the nuts and bolts, and that's what I want to talk about today. We come into retirement to relax, to enjoy the freedom, man, that's been eluding us for all those years, to finally enjoy the fruits of our labor. This is our time to spend it as we choose. But a lot of us, we move overseas to places like the Philippines, Thailand, Brazil, Colombia, the DR, and we lose our retirement, or it's stolen from us before it ever gets started. I just want to talk about some ways that happens to us. It's not always money, but of course money is always somewhere in that mix. Somebody sent me a video today about men jumping to their death in Thailand. And we talked a little bit about it on my members only live stream, and W Secrets to Success said, well, they're doing that because they squandered all that money and they don't want to go back home and, face their friends and family. The embarrassment, the shame. I told you so. You never should have went over there in the first place. So they jump out of the high rise. They jump out of the window. It's no different than people jumping out of the windows when the 1929 stock market crashed. It's not always money, but money is always somewhere in that mix. We heard so many horror stories about men sending their life savings to women over here. The women mismanage the money or just outright runs out with it. And so when they get over here, it's gone. The money, their retirement is vanished in the thin air. So many of those stories. And you can hear the family ringing in your ear. Don't sell the land. Don't quit your job. Don't move over there. Don't cash in your 401k. Don't sell the house. Well, if it don't work out, you can have something to come back home to. We're not listening. So we have our retirement stolen right up underneath us. And it's a sad situation. I like to talk about this real life stuff, man, because it resonates with some people. You're not always going to be laying on the beach over here. Certainly have a plan for your retirement. See, the mistake I made is I didn't have a good enough plan for my retirement. Matter of fact, I really didn't have a plan. All I wanted to do was escape the rat race and get off the hamster wheel. That's as far as it went. So I backed into a lot of stuff. I made a lot of mistakes in my retirement. And none bigger than having children. That's another way that your retirement can be taken from you. I love my daughter. There's nothing I would do for her. But I wouldn't suggest you have a child in retirement. That's the craziest thing you could possibly do. As a matter of fact, I didn't have children until I was 30 years old. I was over 30. I was almost 32 years old. Because I never planned on having children, ladies and gentlemen. I'd already made it up in my mind. I'm not bringing any children into this cruel world of suffering and death. I knew that way back then. I'm not going to do it. But because I grew up in a Christian family, I was shamed for that. I was made fun of. I was pressured into having children. Oh, you gay. When are you going to have children? Even my friends who already had children was, hey, man, when are you going to have a child? And I caved in to the pressure when I should have stuck to my guns. I got friends now, 50s, 60s, 40s, who don't have children. They're happy with that decision too. They're free. Because that's one of the words that you associate with retirement. If you're not free, then you're not retired. They did a study, Transamerica Insurance Company, a big corporation. They did a study in 2019, and they asked people who were still working. They said, what are some of the words that you associate with retirement? Number one was freedom. Number two, enjoyment. Number three, stress-free. If you don't hear nothing else I say today, do not have children in your retirement. Okay, because there's nothing stress-free about that. I worry every day about Booby. Most of the decisions I make have her in mind. And hindsight is always 20/20, and people say, oh, she's here now. Yeah, that's right, but don't bring any children into this cruel-ass world, man. Okay? That's another video for another day. You want your retirement stolen, do that then. Or another subtle way that you can have your retirement stolen is to come over here and date or marry a younger woman, certainly a younger woman with children. I see men in their 60s, 70s, 80s. They come over here and assume the role of a man half their age. They take on the responsibility of taking care of children and a family in retirement. Your retirement is over. All the responsibilities that you only thought you got rid of when you retired, you start all over again. Well, hell, damn it, guess what? I didn't come over here to start over. I came over here to retire. So my retirement is gone. And I'm thinking, how did this happen? Did I give it away? Was it stolen from me? But there's men watching this now who would not admit that they've given their retirement away. They've had it stolen. You know, when we were talking about why do men jump out of high-rise buildings in Thailand, you know, W Secrets of Success says, are they simps? Or are they being tricked? You know, when we were talking about men giving away their money and everything, I said it's a combination. Everybody's not a simp. But a simp is somebody who doesn't see the error of his ways. He doesn't see that he's done anything wrong because he's doing it for the wrong reason anyway. He's doing it for the benefit of somebody else to begin with. He's trying to impress somebody else. He's put their needs above his own. But there's some guys who've actually been tricked. These are the guys who said it would never happen to me. I don't even listen to those videos or watch them or anything. I know what to do over here. But no, they get tripped up over here. Because when you start dealing with young women over here, you don't know what's around the corner. When your focus is strictly on a woman, man, you don't see the other pitfalls, the other dangers that's going to trip you up, that's going to derail your retirement, man. You're going to end up having your retirement stolen from you. Well, what's another reason? If you did, if you jump out of one of them high rises, because, you know, it's nothing new to what's going on in Thailand. But sometimes you're not committing suicide. People are taking you out. There's horror stories like that over here, over in Thailand, Vietnam, wherever you go. That's not the scenario we envisioned when we retired. Somebody wrote me today. They said, Cal, well, it was a comment under my members only. They said, hey, well, you know, when you go to a country and the earnings and the lifestyle is not equal to America, they're always going to look at you as a resource. They're always going to look at you for money. Well, back in December 2023, I want to say, right here in Cebu, he's 72, retired. She's 30, his wife. They're married. Well, she asked him for some money. I think he gave her $50,000 to start a business or something, right? When she comes back and she wants $100,000 more, he's like, no, you know, look, I'm not rich. We got to live over here. Some words were exchanged, and well, she ends up calling the ex-boyfriend, and they killed the man. They stole his retirement, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me. All that hard work, all those years of sacrifice, all that saving, All those grand schemes and plans for what? Absolutely nothing. Because he never saw that coming. You don't see it coming. All you worried about is a woman. The least thing you got to worry about. That's why I did the series. I'm gonna put it in a playlist. It's 4 videos I made. Because people was like, oh, why are you talking about this stuff? Look, man, I got over 3,000 videos. I talk about stuff that I think is relevant. My audience changes every single day. I've got a core group of viewers and supporters, but YouTube probably sends my videos out to about 50% of new people every single day who never heard this information, who are coming over here, who don't know what they're stepping into, who don't know that they're getting ready to either give their retirement away or somebody's going to steal it from them. They have no idea. Stepping into the father's role over here at 70 years old. Come on, guys. We can do better than that. But y'all don't want to hear the truth. But I'm going to tell you anyway. Don't do that. You're going to sacrifice your retirement. There's nothing freedom about that. You're going to be in a gold cage, a golden cage, like they say. Prisoner, locked up in a golden cage, because 2 things can be true at the same time. You can be happy and still have your retirement stolen from you. But I'll be damned, I didn't come here to start over. I came here to retire. Well, it's too late for that. Booby's 5, so I can't retire for at least another 13 years, probably more than that. So thank y'all so much for stopping by. Let's talk about real life stuff, okay? Stuff that's really going to slap you in the face when you get over here. But your focus is in the wrong place. Your focus is in the wrong place. If you don't listen to your family, you certainly aren't going to listen to me. They told you don't cash in that 401k. They told you don't sell the house. They told you don't sell the land. They told you don't even come over here. Come over here on a vacation. So what makes me think you're going to listen to me? You're not going to listen to me. But maybe somebody will. Maybe 1 out of 1,000 people will. Maybe somebody will say, all that work over all those years is for me. Maybe somebody will take self-preservation more serious. All this noble stuff, yeah, it sounds good, but it's rhetoric, man. It's bullshit. People don't really care, man. All they want is what you got. And they'll willingly take it. And when you gone, they're going to move on to somebody else. So if you're in America, if you're in the Philippines, wherever you are, fan in your heart to help somebody. Not a day goes by that I don't help somebody. We're going to spin the wheel tonight like we do every Saturday night. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. I'll see you next time. And don't do anything stupid. Don't give your retirement away. And certainly don't let anybody steal it from you. Keep your eye on the prize, which is your retirement. But if your focus is only on a woman, you don't see the other dangers that are going to derail you. They're going to blindside you. You may not even make it through your retirement. It's not why you came over here. People need to come out here and start talking their truth. Being honest. Everybody over here is not living a perfect life. You can be happy and in a damn golden cage at the same time. There ain't no freedom when you married over here. There's no freedom. Could I go anywhere I want to right now? Yeah, but it's going to be some tension. Who wants tension? Who wants stress? But it's a decision I made. But I'm just asking you to think it all the way through. There's guys over here, man, who I envy, really. I really do. They have no children. They have no wife. They're really retired. And see, that's the goal. That's the goal, ladies and gentlemen.
Boots on the ground. Don't do nothing stupid. Give that man his flowers. A tribute through music. If I don't know